Good evening. Afternoon, actually. Scotty Shannon Jones wanted to know what my crucial apps are and ones that I can't do without, and why. This isn't the most diverse list in the world of apps, but here they are. YouTube Studio. This is one that I use every single day, and it's especially with the new updates, it allows for way easier replying to comments, and I try to reply to all of them except the ones that are just douchebags, and you know who you are. It also lets me look at analytics and a lot of different data concerning the channel and where it's going and how it's been doing, and a way to share the videos on there and access them directly without having to open up the YouTube app. It's a lot easier. Allo, because for some reason my girlfriend's iPhone does not like when I text it with regular text messages. So we just downloaded Allo, and now she prefers Allo over regular messaging. YouTube, for obvious reasons. I actually don't use Spotify or Pandora or any other music streaming service. It's really just YouTube, because that's where the artists that I like to listen are, and they're not on Pandora, Spotify, or Play Music to my knowledge, but it's just YouTube Red, man. YouTube Red's the shit. The one that a lot of people might not have is called Safe in Cloud. The name needs a lot of work. It's basically a password bank, and you can tie it to your fingerprint data so you can just bloop and get right in, and it has been a lifesaver. I think the hardest thing about using it is remembering when you do have to create a new login. Like if you download the Pizza Hut app and you don't have an account with it, and you're like, oh, I want this free pizza because I have reward points, or something like that. You can just go to the app and then throw in a password and blah blah blah. But instead, go to Safe in Cloud first, and if you have one of the later Samsung phones, you can just whoop, swipe diagonally from the upper right or left corner and create a little window with that app in it. That way you can open up anything else behind it and then type it in there, into the app first, and then when you hit done, you can just tap the password without it actually showing it even, and it will automatically copy it to the clipboard, and you can go back to where that app is. Password, you know, touch, paste, retype password, touch, paste, done. And then you have the option to synchronize that with like Dropbox or your Gmail, Google Drive account. So even if your phone gets catastrophically damaged, all you have to do is log back in with your master password, and then there's no way to recover if you forget it, so make sure you remember it. And then there's all your passwords back. Super, super nice, and it has saved me so much trouble. God. Patreon. Again, for obvious reasons. The Patreon app helps me keep track of people replying to posts that I put on there and answering questions that I ask. Like I asked all the Scotties what video topics they wanted, and this one right here is one that, a topic that Shannon Jones requested actually, so you're welcome. OneDrive. This is really cool because whenever I get a new patron, then I go to that app and then use Smart Select on the note and then just grab their name out of it, and that's where you see, that's where I get the pictures of the Scotties that you see on the end of every video. So I just share it directly from the Smart Select to OneDrive, and then open it up on the computer, open up the OneDrive folder, and then drag and drop into Adobe Premiere, and you're done. Super easy. I love that. Obviously the social medias, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and I think that's it. Google Analytics is another one that I use for analyzing traffic to my website, where it came from, how many people have gone there, what page they leave on. It's like, well, if they leave right at the open, like the home page, then that means the site was not compelling enough for them to stay and check out what else there was, or maybe they were just curious, I don't know. But it's a helpful source of information for looking at traffic from the website, especially if I'm doing a Facebook ad or a promotion on Instagram or something that directs people back to that website, which I've been trying to do, but for some reason it won't use any of the money that I put into the budget. All $14. DJI Go, for obvious reasons, and equally as obvious is the Gear 360 app. That's crucial to the copying and moving of content from the Gear 360 camera over to the app, or over to the phone. Please keep this in mind, those of you who have Gear 360s and who haven't discovered this already. If you take pictures with the camera, do not take the card out of the camera and put it in the phone, thinking it'll like speed up your transfer or something, because the Gear 360 can shoot 360 video at 4K, so those are big files, and it can take a while if you're doing it Wi-Fi direct, but that's the only way that you can do it and have them stitched together properly. So I made the mistake when I went to the Austin trip right here. of taking some pictures of the cabin that we were in, or little shack thing that we were in, and copying them manually over to the phone. They did not get stitched, and I can't put them back. You can't put them back onto the card and put the card back in the camera and then try to do it the real way. It just doesn't work. So don't manually try to transfer that stuff. Just use the software that they gave you, because that's the only way they'll come out right. Samsung's gallery. I put this one in there because I know there's a lot of other gallery alternatives, and I've used several of them, but Samsung's gallery, just like Samsung's text messaging app actually, it's just improved a lot. It's not slow like it used to be. The album management is something at least I'm still familiar with and I enjoy using. It's does what I need it to do, and it doesn't hang up all the time, which is nice. And Netflix. I think that's it. Or at least that's the majority. If I had to pick one game that I like to have on the phone, it's Shadow Fight 3. Oh, and Google Voice. That's the app that I use to put the number out for the live streams so people can call in without me actually broadcasting my phone number all over the internet. Not ready for that. I'm going to take a moment to appreciate our Scotties, starting with the one that requested this video topic. I did it right that time. Yes! And that is Mr. Shannon Jones. We also have Stuart Glover, Kyler, Nick Hawks, Spidget, Sin O, Josh Utley, Unit Omega, John O'Brien, and Christopher Caswell.
I stay with my Scotties. My Scotties are my boys. I ride with them. And I put that on the generation.
And for the Super Beamers, we have Albert and Mr. Patrick Hayes. Also the Beamers are Encrypted Bunny and Excelsior. Keep downloading apps, keep trying to taste them, and keep the ones you like, and stay beaming.